Good morning. Welcome to our Saturday morning writing sprints. I am Jen St. Kevin, author of Gothic romances, paranormal romances without the romance so much, urban fantasy, again without the urban, and all sorts of nonsense, all with an LGBTQ plus focus. Usually, I am joined by my co-host, Jamie Sands, who is another amazing New Zealand author. Unfortunately, Jamie can't join us today. They're not feeling 100%. Instead, my co-hosts for today are Spooky and Dozer, who are the two dogs that I am currently house-sitting. Spooky is an extreme guard dog, and he takes offense to things like blackbirds landing on the lawn and the neighbors pulling into their driveway. Chances are good you will hear from Spooky throughout this stream. Please don't mind Spooky. He's a good dog, just a loud dog. Unfortunately, I cannot let Spooky out of the house because of Dozer. Dozer is a beautiful Kelpie. She is absolutely gorgeous and a retired farm dog. A Kelpie is a breed of sheepdog from Australia, not the creature from Irish mythology, though it would be awesome if I was house sitting a Kelpie. But yeah, so Dozer is one of the most beautiful, well-trained, and lovely dogs I have ever met. She is so good and gentle and sweet. She is a joy, basically. Unfortunately, Dozer has figured out how to get out of the garden, and I cannot fix the fence in a way to make it unescape proof for Dozer. So until their family returns, I am keeping Dozer and Spooky inside with me to make sure that Dozer doesn't pull her third escape attempt. And yeah, so that's why Spooky is not outside, and that is why you'll probably hear him at some point. And brilliant. Hi, Kitty. I am so glad that you are still feeling fine. How much longer do you have to isolate for? But yeah, so let's see. Today I am planning to get back to work. I've had quite a break. On Tuesday last week, I think, I finished writing The Trials of Sirius Crew, which is the story I started in November, and it is now 135,000 words long. I finished rereading it yesterday, and I've been tying myself up in massive knots worrying about the plot. And there are a few plot holes, things I've said early in the story that that contradict things that happen later on. But the story feels good. Like when you're reading it, you don't notice the plot holes so much because everything feels right. So I don't think I have as much work to do as I was afraid I did. But I am having the issue now of figuring out how to address those plot holes in a way that makes sense. Hi, Jamie. Thank you. I hope that you are able to do more than simply contemplate breakfast. But yeah, take care of yourself. What was I saying? But yep, so I've basically got to figure out how to tie that part of my plot all together nicely in a way that makes sense. I've also realized that I have a few loose ends that I need to tie up, and I think I can do this with another chapter at the end. The problem is the end is already quite long, so I've yeah, just got to figure out how to address these issues. So before I start writing today, I'll probably do some brainstorming / plotting sprints. The other thing I wanted to do before we hop into our usual warm-up activity is to explain about the pond. In one of our last live streams from last year, Jamie was co-hosting solo and I was at Castle Hill with my family. Yes, Kitty, it is the plot errors sort of thing. I've had somebody get murdered and somebody confess to the murder, but on reading it through, I've realized that the person who confessed cannot possibly is in the wrong place at the time of the murder and couldn't have done it. Things like that. Jamie got their booster shot yesterday, Kitty, and are just having a few side effects. They're at home with Mochi and their partner, and so yeah, taking it easy, but they've also got someone there with them keeping an eye on them. I think they're mutually keeping an eye on each other. They both got the booster shot. What was I saying? But yes, so I was at Castle Hill and I told Julie that I'd fallen in a pond, and I feel like I need to give the full story about this. First of all, I want to emphasize that Castle Hill is known for its hills and its rock formations, and it's not known for its ponds. My sister has visited Castle Hill 2 or 3 times, probably more than that, and she had never seen a pond before. So the fact that I was able to fall into a pond is actually extremely remarkable. Kitty, I got the booster shot and totally fine. It was I had my arm was sore and I had a bit of issues sleeping for the next 2 nights, but that was only when I was trying to sleep. Any other time of day, I barely noticed it. So I am the one person who is bucking that trend. But yeah, so first of all, fact that there was a pond there, extremely remarkable. And the second thing is that this pond was obviously formed by rainfall. It's not supposed to be there. So it was basically just this lots of water in a field. And my stepdad, who studies wetlands, was checking this out and talking about the what this could mean for the landscape. And I spotted some little insects in the water, and I asked him what they were. They turned out to be water boatsmen. And then my stepdad spotted what's the word? Oh gosh, what was it? Not a dragonfly, but a nymph of another insect. And so I was very excited about this because my niece and I had just been reading a story where these little nymphs had played a part. So I called my niece over to the pond to show her these little nymphs. And I was standing on mud and I was leaning forward to point out the nymph, and I felt my feet start to slide forward. So I corrected my balance, but overcorrected, with the result that my feet just went sliding straight forward. I went up, landed on my butt right in this pond in front of niece and her friend. And as we were all reacting to this, my nephew came running up to see what had happened. slipped on the mud and did this amazing slide. Just, yeah, it was quite incredible. He landed on his butt, did not go into the pond. I was the only one who had the honour of landing in the pond. So, hey, Sam. But yeah, that is my pond adventures at Castle Hill. So yeah, overall, I feel pretty privileged actually. It is great to see you, Sam. Happy New Year. Oh, and actually, Happy New Year to Kitty too. So yeah, I have decided what I'm working on today, which is basically plot brainstorming and figuring out what my next steps are with editing the Trials of Sirius Crew. Sam, what are you working on? And Kitty, what are you up to? You've just told me what time it is for you, and I've already forgotten. Friday afternoon. So, Kitty, what are you up to this Friday afternoon? Well, I wait to hear what your responses are because there's always that fun time delay with the stream. Oh, awesome, Sam. Yeah, I think we're probably both in the same place there, trying to pick up a story after a break. At least mine is finished. Hi, Eric. Hello from Sweden. That is very cool. Myself and Sam are from New Zealand, and we've got Kitty joining us from the States. So it's always cool to be an international stream. Do you have anything to do while you are sitting home, Kitty? I imagine that you've sort of already exhausted all of your usual go-tos. Or are you the type of person who never runs out of stuff to do? Oh my gosh. So I am using my only deck, which is the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz. So Sam, yeah, PB Tech, well, not great, but hopefully you are able to convince them otherwise. So we usually kick off our streams with a 5-minute writing prompt. And today we've got the Ace of Wands. This is awesome. Wands are the suit of kind of creativity, and the ace is a beginning, basically. So it represents the start of something new, maybe a new project, a new story, a new approach, a new inspiration. But you see the energy radiating out of the wand that's kind of representative of the power of new beginnings, of starting fresh, of, yeah, all of that kind of the excitement, basically, of starting something new. Eric, we mainly use the tarot cards as just sort of inspiration. So do not worry about it or get hung up at the meaning. It's more about what the image is and what it suggests to you. Sam, yeah, I can imagine and really relate to that. And Kitty, that just sounds like incredibly frustrating. But we will put that all behind us with the Ace of Wands. And so for the next 5 minutes, we're just going to write. It's going to be whatever comes to mind. There's no editing, no second guessing, no planning. It's just kind of like a brain dump, taking anything that the Ace of Wands suggests to us and just getting it down on paper. So I've got 5 minutes on the clock, starting now. Okay, so that is our 5 minutes up. I got a little bit of brainstorming slash random thoughts done. I had a bit of trouble actually just keeping my thoughts together and getting myself focused and writing. I think that's just a sign that I stayed up too late last night. I discovered the song We Don't Talk About Bruno from the movie Encanto. Despite not having the movie, I then spent a good 3 hours, I think, just watching clips and songs from the movie and really enjoying them. So I need to get myself to a movie theatre ASAP. But I did manage to kind of come up with a few thoughts about how to approach rewriting my the story that I'm working on. So I think my first task this morning is just going to um, make myself a roadmap of the story and just write down what happens in every chapter. And then from there, I can hopefully figure out where it makes most sense to make my changes. Kitty, that's really interesting that it has to be inspected once a year in order not to avoid the warranty. But I imagine that allows them to kind of nip any potential problems in the bud. So that's actually sounds like there's some pros and cons there. Some fingers crossed for you dealing with PB Tech. Eric, I hope that the Ace of Wands was able to give you some good inspiration. But now I'm actually going to put my cards aside and I am ready to hop into our first writing sprint. I will not be writing, I will be, I guess, analysing my previously written story. But for those of you who are writing, good luck. But yeah, our first 20-minute sprint starting now. Okay, so that's the end of our first 20-minute sprint. How is everyone getting on? So I am making a list of sort of what happens in my chapters, but where I come to places where I need to make changes, I'm using a sort of exercise that I find really useful for when I get stuck or I'm having plot difficulties, which is to give myself 10 from the numbers 1 to 10 on a piece of paper, then come up with 10 possibilities for every sort of plot development or plot point, and just brainstorm until I come up with something that's really that makes a lot of sense and feels right for the scene. If you have the time, a good thing to do is to do 1 to 10. Maybe give yourself 10 minutes on a timer and see what you can come up with, and then go 11 to 20, set your timer for 10 more minutes and do it again. The idea is that the first time you sit down, the first 1 to 5 will be pretty easy. It'll be stuff that's top of your head, makes sense. But when for the rest of them, you sort of have to dig into your imagination and come up with things that are a little bit more unusual, and that when you do that, you come up with the twists, the connections that will really wow your readers. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping will happen here, that I will find some solutions to these problems that will get me out of the plot holes that I'm in. Sam has decided what you're writing, the scene that describes the problem. Yeah, that is absolutely a valuable scene to write. And yeah, just pantsing and revising is kind of what got me to where I am. I've got what I think is a pretty good story. It just needs a little bit of fine tuning. So hopefully that's the same for you, Sam. Just quickly. Okay, Jojo asked on Facebook, I don't think I can make it today. Are you running another one tomorrow? Yes, we are. So basically, same time tomorrow. It'll be me and hopefully Jamie too. So much excitement. But yeah, Sam says, you have the plot, it's just the connections between the main beats. Yes, I think we are probably in very similar places. So we're going to start the timer for our next 20-minute sprint. Oh, I see that I did not stop the 20-minute sprint, so at least that's good. We don't have to do anything there. Kitty, I don't know how to link the Discord, so because we do not have Jamie, I cannot do that today. But yeah, tomorrow we are professionals. Okay, 20 minutes starting now. Okay, so that is the end of our second 20-minute sprint. We had a little bit of excitement in the form of a bot, but Sam has figured out how to turn off Microsoft's annoying news feature, which is a great achievement. Good job, Sam. I am literally just halfway through my kind of plot map, so that's great. And yeah, Sam has got 358 words, which is slow progress. I am feeling pretty good with what I've done. It's also going slowly, but I feel like it is going in a positive direction, so that's great. Normally, we would pause here and take a longer break, but because we had such a long chat to start the live stream, I'm inclined to keep on going straight into our third writing sprint. And I am so pleased to hear that PB Tech is ordering a new PC. That is, yeah, much appreciated good news for you, Sam. So hooray. And I'm glad that your blood pressure is stabilizing. I am onto my second cup of tea. Check this out. It is an absolute monster. It's always quite fun when you arrive at a house sit and check out the new your new mugs and stuff. This house is a coffee drinking house rather than a what's the word? A tea house. So there are no teapots, which means that I have been unable to drink my wonderful new sort of birthday tea this week. But it makes up for it by some really nice mugs. And of course, this one, which I'm excited to get into. So, yeah, I agree, Sam. You totally do not need the added frustration. Yeah, hopefully that the new PC kind of irons out those wrinkles and you are able to get on with it. Yep, it is indeed a huge cup. We will see how many times I need to go to the bathroom for the remainder of the stream. Spooky is at the door, so quickly before he spots something that needs barking at, let's dive into our third 20-minute sprint starting now. Spooky, there's no one at the door. Come on. No. Okay, that is the end of our third sprint. We've been joined by Julie and Kathy, which is awesome. You can hear Doza shaking herself, and you heard the Spooky investigating absolutely nothing. So, yep. It looks like Sam has had a good response to their question. What's the feeling you get when I say a Motorola phone? Hopefully that is enough to answer your question, Sam. I'm continuing to make progress on my edits, not edits, my kind of plot massaging. So, yep, that's all good. The dogs look happy. But skipping our longer break has meant that my tummy is really not happy with me. So I'm going to take the opportunity here of us not being in a sprint to crack open some ginger nuts. Kitty, you asked about these. When we talk about ginger nuts, these are what we are talking about. Griffin's original ginger nuts. So they're small, quite solid biscuits. They do take a lot to kind of crunch through, but don't they in tea, they are very nice. So let's prepare for our fourth and final sprint. But yeah, Julie and Kathy, let us know what you're working on. Yep, ginger nuts have been known to break teeth. But yeah, they've never broken my teeth, so I love them a lot. 20 minutes starting now. Okay, that is the end of our fourth and final sprint. I muted myself. So you missed the end of the timer. Could somebody please comment to let me know that you can hear me? But yeah, I have almost finished my plot reset. Oh, perfect. Yes, as soon as I muted myself, I was like, I must not forget to unmute myself. And 30 seconds later, it was immediately out of my head. Whew. Okay. So I feel like I've made some really good progress this morning. I've only got a little bit more to do to finish this. So, yeah, that's exciting. I'm going to scroll up to see what I missed in the chat, but while I do that, please share how you got on this morning and what you've managed to accomplish. I am really enjoying the discussion about the Green Witch and her dislike of technology and the background into why, what's the word? Why your character needs a phone, but not too good a phone, Sam. That is awesome. So, yep, Julie has almost managed to eat all the cheese straws. Keep going, Julie. We believe in you. Kitty's feeling hungry. Well, if you have a packet of ginger nuts, Kitty, that will solve that problem. Yeah, it sounds like Sam and I made good writing, plotting progress this morning. And Sam even got some words done, which is really good. So Sam is our MVP this sprint. As I mentioned earlier, we will be back again tomorrow. Jamie plans to join us, so fingers crossed that they continue to, rest today and feel better tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully this is our return to regularly scheduled live streaming, though with the way our schedules seem to go, who knows if we'll stick to that, but that is the aim. Oh, 880 words, Sam, that is awesome. I'm actually feeling hungry too, so it might be a lunch break for me. Julie might be doing some gardening tomorrow. Kitty, I am not sure what the situation is with USPS and New Zealand. I think checking the USPS site is probably the best way to keep tabs on the postal situation. New Zealand Post is running as usual. I don't think our ability to send stuff to the States is impacted. I think it's just using the United States Postal Service to send to New Zealand, Australia, and those other countries that is the issue. I think that DHL and the other one, I'm sorry, when I was working my customer service job, I was totally up on the intricacies of the US postal, of US post options, but yeah, it's DHL and there's one other one. I keep wanting to say American Express, but that's a credit card. But yeah, that's interesting. Kitty, you probably know more about sending stuff to New Zealand than we do. I know that I have a package from Archer and Olive that was supposed to arrive December 27th. It's now January 15th, and it has made it as far as Melbourne. FedEx. Thank you, Kitty. Yes, it is FedEx. So the issue with New Zealand is that we have fewer flights going out and coming in, and because airmail is the main way that we get our mail delivered, because there's less flights, there's less room for mail to be delivered. So I think that is the issue. I suspected. I am keen for a package, and I think Jamie will be too. But yeah, we can be patient. So I'm going to say goodbye. Hopefully, see your neighbour tomorrow, Kitty, and you. Hopefully, it will be good weather for Julie in the garden. Kathy, it's great to have you for the last few seconds. But yeah, this has been a really great morning as far as I'm concerned. I've made good progress. Sam's made good progress. And yeah, this is an excellent start to regular streaming. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Until then, have a great rest of your day, and all of us hungry ones, let's go get some food. Bye.